Today's lesson is on dividing a polynomial by a constant using algebra tiles. So to model the division of a polynomial by a constant, we can look back at the definition of division. And sometimes we forget about this. What does division really mean? What does division really mean? When we look at 24 divided by 3, we are looking at taking the number 24 and separating it into 3 equal groups. 3 equal groups. So if group 1 has 8 in it, group 2 has 8 in it, and group 3 has 8 in it, 8, 8, 8 all adds up to 24. So division is putting a big sum into smaller equal groups. And we can use the same approach when dividing polynomials by a constant using algebra tiles. Suppose we want to divide 8h plus 6 by 2. 8h plus 6 would look like this. It would have 8 shaded rectangles and 6 shaded little squares. And we want to separate it into 2 equal groups. So you would start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 4 rectangles in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 shaded little squares in each group. So what's in each group? Well, what's in each group is 4h plus 3. So that's the answer. When we divide 8h plus 6 by 2, it's 4h plus 3. Okay? Let's do a couple examples. So let's draw 12p plus 8. How do I draw that? And so when you said 12 rectangles, I didn't hear anything about shading. Shaded and 8. What kind of squares? Little squares. Okay, great. Let's do it. So 12 shaded rectangles. Now, before we do this, can we cheat a little bit here? Can we just jump right to the finish line? Sure, I don't care. So how many groups are there? 4 groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. Now, Chris said there's 12 shaded rectangles. So let's count together. 1, and then put the second one in group 2. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The rectangles are equally divided amongst our 4 groups. Now we're going to divide the 8 up amongst the 4 groups. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Chris, you were well on this. So what's our answer, Chris? 3p plus 2. Because there are 3 shaded rectangles. That's where the 3p comes from. And the plus 2 comes from the fact that there are 2 shaded little squares in each group. That's it. That's how we do this. Okay, that's how we do this. Fairly straightforward. Nothing too wild or crazy here. So now if we take a look at the second question, how many groups do we have?
3.
Thank you. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. 3b squared. How do I draw out 3b squared? How do I draw out 3b squared?
3b squared.
Shaded. Cool. So 1 big shaded square, 2 big shaded squares, 3 big shaded squares. I've drawn all my big shaded squares. So then I'm going to do minus 12. Minus 12 would be what? How do I draw out minus 12? 12 unshaded small squares. So we're going to count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Unless I made a mistake, and believe me, I've made lots and I'm going to make more, the questions will always be designed so that there should be an equal amount of stuff in each group. So first of all, if you don't get equal stuff in each group, first check your work. Maybe you made a mistake. And then if you think that you did good, maybe I made a mistake. It's always possible. What's in each group?
B squared minus 4.
B squared minus 4. Giddy up. You're spot on. That's awesome. That's your answer. B squared minus 4. Tia, put your phone away. Next question. Here we go. We have it written out a different way, and that's okay. It's 2w squared minus 8w plus 4 divided by 2. We are dividing by 2. How many groups are there? 2. So we got group 1 and group 2. So 2w squared, how do we draw it? 2 big shaded squares. There's 1. There's 2. How do we draw minus 8w? How many shaded rectangles?
8.
How many?
8.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have plus 4. How do we draw plus 4? 4 shaded little squares. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. What is in each group? What is in each group?
W squared minus 4w plus 2.
Beautiful work. W squared minus 4w plus 2. That is what's in each group. Every question we've done so far has been fairly straightforward. The last question isn't super difficult, but it's different. Why is it different? The number's divided by a negative. And you betcha that is something different. That is something that is going to change what we do. How is it going to change what we do? Well, it's going to mean that we're going to play the old switcheroo game. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the negative 2 to a positive 2.
Activate lockdown. Activate lockdown. This building is in lockdown. Activate lockdown now. Activate lockdown. Activate lockdown. This building is in lockdown. Activate lockdown now. Activate lockdown. Activate lockdown.
Okay, so we're going to change the bottom number to positive 2. And the thing is that we just can't change something, Drayden, without changing something else, Janae. So if we change the sign on the 2, we have to change the signs on both of the stuff up here. Negative 4m becomes positive 4m, and positive 18 becomes negative 18. And now we are going to divide that into two equal groups. So group 1 and group 2. So for 4m, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded rectangles. And for minus 18, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And what we see in both groups is 2m minus 9. And that is your answer.